food table yet?
We are going to have a special presentation shortly. We have
They can't hold too many people pictures, so don't.
Short time. So if people would find their seats for a few minutes, we'll start with this first presentation. So Mike.
Oh my God, my name is Mom.
We'll go back to drinking beer in a few minutes, but Mayor Sanders has a special presentation here from Mike. So Mike, Mayor Sanders.
Now I can tell you guys are going to have a good time here. I noticed when Kat came in, she had her coat on backwards. I noticed there's a little beer being downed already. I wish I could stay with you. I'd rather take off my tie and sit down and drink a couple beers. I'm sorry I got to leave, but I wanted to stop by just to thank all of you for what you do. Mira Mesa is a community that I've grown up with. When I started the police academy in 1973, there were only a few houses up here in the Big Bear Market, and the bar was Taters. And there was a Jack in the Box and a gas station. That was about it in this community. And it's been the leadership from this group that has really grown this into a first-class community that takes care of its own. And I can't think of anybody who typifies that more than Mike Davis. And as all politicians do, I have a proclamation from Mike Davis. And it says,
so all that whereas stuff in there?
Yeah, I'm not going to read it.
Whereas?
I know you want to get back to your beers.
That's what I'm saying. Skip those whereas.
Being at home. Well, anyway, Mike, it's Mike Davis Day in the city of San Diego. Here you go.
It is. The leaf blower is part of the theme. Did you notice the cans and stuff around, the little centerpieces and stuff?
Why do we know that with you?
He says you told him I bossed you around. You weren't supposed to tell anybody.
And you drink her beer.
Do that too. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. We'll start the presentation about 6:30, so you can just hang loose and pull it.
Make the round. You take me.
No, you go ahead now.
Our good friend Mike took my button, so.
I stole
That's a bad spot of this, for sure.
I got a good spot, man. But we got different angles, so.
That's right.
It's mini DV, right?
Please take your seats. We're going to get started here in just a moment. I will. Well, I want to welcome you all here tonight, and thank you for coming. We're here for a great occasion, honoring Mike Davis, who has shown just awesome. I don't know. I mean, he's just been awesome in the community. I mean, just awesome in the community. I mean, he's been doing so much in this community through heroes, and I just, like I said, we're all here tonight to honor Mike, and it's great to have him here, and great to have all you here.
Elvis came too.
And Elvis came, yes. It's also great that we have all of the elected officials here tonight also, and that really makes tonight worthwhile, should I say. And Mike's going to be like, you don't have enough space in front of you there for everything that you're going to get tonight. We need to get him another table. Well,
As long as he has room for the beer.
I think he's got plenty of room for the beer. What I'd like to do is actually go ahead and, I mean, of course, tonight we're not only honoring, Mike Davis for all the community service he's done in this community, but we're also raising money for the Vern Goodwin Scholarship Fund. And that's the real reason we're out tonight. So, as for the bar, the prices might be, I think they're fair, but average, but realize that they're all going to a good cause. And that it is all going to the scholarship fund. So, open your wallets, and we'll be passing the paint can around here soon. And with that, I want to go ahead and introduce Robin, who's going to come up here and tell a little bit about, well, Robin, come on up. There you go, Robin.
Thank you, Cortland. Thanks to everybody for coming and joining us. We've done this several years, and originally this was, I don't know what it started out as original. Most of you people will probably know more than me, but it used to be it was not the Vern Goodwin Scholarship. It was the Fieldstone Mira Mesa Town Council Scholarship. And after the Fieldstone money ran out, then Vern Goodwin started supplementing it, which was really nice for us. So we dropped the Fieldstone and went Mira Mesa Town Council Vern Goodwin Scholarship. And so with his passing, that's very sad. So, we're going to still keep it the same name anyway. But I'd like to introduce, first I have to tell you that we've given out one scholarship already to the college at Miramar. That was a $500 scholarship. And we're giving out 6 more to any Mira Mesa High School resident that writes a fabulous essay on volunteering. So that's what you're all really here to help support tonight, besides celebrating Mike. So with that, I'd like to introduce the President of the Town Council, Jeff Stevens.
Thank you, Robin. Vern Goodwin was actually our very first volunteer of the year in 1984, and we established a scholarship fund at that time in his honor. We actually had 2 scholarships at the beginning. There was a Vern Goodwin scholarship and a Fieldstone scholarship, because Fieldstone contributed $5,000 early on and really got the program started, and we appreciated that a lot. But we remember Vern a lot tonight. So, first thing I'm going to do is to call the Town Council Board forward. And then what we're going to do after that is we are going to bring our elected officials forward who are here tonight and have them give their certificates and proclamations to Mike. After that, we're going to have dinner. And then after that, there are some special things that some of you don't know about yet that will go on. So let me call Mike up. Mike? Let me call our Town Council board members. We're here tonight. I'm President Jeff Stevens, by the way. We'll bring up Ted Brengel, our membership chair and second vice president. Our lieutenant secretary, Ray Young. Our parliamentarian and also chair of the dinner committee tonight, Cortland Young. Member at large, John Daly. And our newsletter editor, Maria Penko.
Yes.
Any other board members here I missed? Okay. Then what I'm going to do next is to introduce our dignitaries, our elected representatives, and their representatives. And they have quite a few presentations to give, so I'm going to call them up one by one. We already had the one from Jerry Sanders earlier, for those of you who were here then. And we'll start tonight with Councilman Brian Mainshine.
Always wanted to shake Elvis's hand. Well, thank you all very much. This is another really great night for Mira Mesa and the people who have made Mira Mesa work over the last year and really over the last, I'd like to say 8 years, but I look around some of these people. Bruce, I'm looking right at Bruce Brown, maybe a little longer than 8 years. They preceded me a little bit, but a number of people who've really done so much. I want to make a couple comments, and I want to present something to Mike. First, I do want to reflect on Vern a little bit and say that he's somebody who I know we all had a lot of respect for, and I do want you to know I adjourned a city council meeting in his memory. We have the certificates over there and a DVD for if any of the organizations would like to take a look. We did want to make sure we provided that. I also, this is now, I remember I've been here, since I've been in office, I've been at each one of these, starting with Robin and Karen and Tim, Steve, Joe, Chuck, and now of course Mike. And so if you just let me, just give me a quick moment to recognize, say two quick things. One is, I really want to recognize Paul Wynn for the great... First off, none of us knew he actually owned a pair of jeans. And he for once decided he wouldn't outdress me, which I appreciate. Finally, it took me 8 years. But Claude, there's so many great things that I could say about him. He is somebody who has really done so much for this community, cares so deeply. I've been very blessed to work with him, and I'm very blessed that he's been one of my closest friends. So, Paul, I want to say thanks for all you've done for Mira Mesa. Now I'd like to present this to Mike. And Mike, we all know all the great things that Mike's done. Of course, maybe the biggest is being the founder of Heroes and director of Heroes. But all that Heroes has done, more than 24 events, including painting Fire Station 38 and the Teen Center. He's an active member of the Mira Mesa Town Council, serving on the board. He has supported the Mira Mesa Street Fair, both in planning there and being there all day to set up, execute, and take down after the event. He's managed 2 very successful clean and green events. The last one collecting almost 60 tons of trash, pretty great. He's the military liaison. He's a founding and participating member of the Taste of Mira Mesa High School Foundation fundraising event. So many other things. So it is with great pleasure that I commend Mike Davis on receiving the 2007 Mira Mesa Town Council Volunteer of the Year Award. Mike's... Mike's commitment to excellence and remarkable dedication to the Mira Mesa Heroes program, along with his volunteer efforts with the Mira Mesa Town Council, Mira Mesa Street Fair, the USMC Community Leaders Forum, the Mira Mesa High School Foundation, and the Veterans Hospital created a better quality of life for countless San Diego families. And because Mike has proven to be a proactive and innovative leader whose top priority is ensuring that Mira Mesa remains the finest community in all of San Diego, I, Brian Mainshine, 5th District City Council member, hereby declare May 3rd, 2008 to be Mike Davis Day in the 5th District in the city. I told him he could get free parking tickets all day, and he's got very legally parking. And I'm just kidding in case of Gary's watching it.
Well, at least you're upfront about it.
I just want to conclude with one other thing. This is going to be the last night that I get to do this as your city council member. And I remember 8 years ago, the nights before each one of my elections, sitting next to Jim Brown in a Mira Mesa community meeting, the nights before each time that I ended up getting elected. So I hope you don't have any plans later, Jim, this election, because I need to come sit wherever you're sitting. But Mira Mesa, you all have been so great to me during my entire time in office. I really have been so blessed. Growing up here in this community in the 5th District and getting an opportunity to represent this has really been the honor of my lifetime. And so I really want to thank you for sending me down to City Hall. I told you I would work hard for you, and I've tried to keep my word on all that. And I will really miss coming to these events as your council member. It has been a great honor. So thank you all very much for all that you've done for me. It's been a real blessing to represent you. So thank you all very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Brian. Next, we have a letter from Senator Barbara Boxer. Barbara Boxer isn't here tonight, but I'm going to have John Daly present that.
I'm not going to use my Elvis voice to do this.
Well, I want you to.
I'll use my best 4th of July.
Oh, that's good.
Dear Mr. Davis, congratulations on being recognized as Volunteer of the Year by the Mira Mesa Town Council. I am pleased to join Mira Mesa Town Council, as well as your family, friends, and many admirers, in congratulating you on the prestigious acknowledgement. Receipt of this recognition is testament to your leadership and invaluable contributions to the Mira Mesa community. Your invaluable efforts with heroes and many civic organizations have nurtured and improved the lives of many individuals. Again, congratulations on your successful efforts. Sincerely, Barbara Boxer, U.S. Senate.
Well, thank you, Barbara.
All right, next we have from Congressman Brian Villebray, his aide Andrew Lund. Andrew?
I was going to do my presentation in the voice of John Madden, but in light of Elvis, I think I'll have to skip that. I wanted to come by and obviously present Mr. Davis, Mr. Mike Davis, with all of the honor and prestige that goes along with the certificate of the U.S. House of Representatives. Thank you for all the work that you've done on behalf of Mira Mesa. The Congressman, recognizes that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here tonight. And more personally, on a personal note, thank you for all you do for the Marine Corps, because you make sure that people aren't calling my office and talking to me and saying, "What are you going to do about those planes flying over?" So thank you. I'm just going to pass that along, of course. So this may be actually one of the only words you'll get tonight that doesn't have a whereas in it, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, I don't know. But I just wanted to congratulate you with a certificate of special congressional recognition for your work with the Mira Mesa Town Council, and hope to see you do more. Thank you very much.
Next we have a certificate from State Senator Christine Kehoe, and we'll have Ted Bringle present that.
Mike, this is from the California State Senate. It's a beautiful certificate from Christine Kehoe presented to Mike Davis. Again, no whereases, but I'll hold it up to everybody.
Thanks, Chris.
Hollingsworth next. Is he or Ronald Mallon here? Well, that's right. This is actually a joint presentation from the state senator and from our state assemblyman George Sakinian here.
Hi everybody. So we wanted to have the biggest certificate. It's actually yeah, handwritten. It's a joint resolution from State Senator Dennis Hollingsworth and then State Assemblyman George Plasher. So we just want to thank you for everything you've done. And then that Mike Davis is congratulated on his selection as Volunteer of the Year. So thank you very much.
He said there were only 7 whereases. A big whereas is as good as a little one.
Sure you don't want to come back and read all the words on that? Thank you.
Yes, it's better than no whereas at all.
All right. We have for Legislator Price, Erica Holloway.
That's good. I like that. Unfortunately, I can't adhere to that. There was whereas design, but I'm not going to read it because I'm going to tell you a good story. The first time I did this for Mira Mesa, I was giving an award to Steve. And Robbie came up to me and she said, I want you to read the whole thing. And this is when I was working for Senator Hollingsworth. And you saw that thing, right? And I said, are you sure? Because I'm really going to upset some people. And she said, no, I really, really want you to read the whole thing because he was very upset when I got mine and he didn't have his yet. And so we want to have a level playing field. Read the whole thing. And people were passing out halfway through it. This is actually from Supervisor Slater Price and also Supervisor Ron Roberts. He is part of the district here, as you know, and Rebecca comes to the meetings with me as well. And I wanted to say that it's people like Mike that make Mira Mesa a wonderful place. You know, Andrew and I go to, and Ellen and Liz, we go to a lot of meetings, and people don't pay attention to their community the way that Mira Mesa does, and it's because of people like Mike, who really make a difference for their community. And you know, being a volunteer pays really well, so obviously, yeah, so.
We're going to double his pay because of this.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
Get that in writing before you leave, but I wanted to thank you.
0 is still.
I'm going to read the very bottom. Whereas the County of San Diego is committed to recognizing and honoring those individuals who are dedicated to the best ideas of public service, and Mike Davis is certainly one such individual. Be it proclaimed by Chairman Greg Hoggs and all members of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors on this 3rd day of May 2008, that they commend Mike Davis for outstanding service, leadership, and commitment to area residents, and do by here declare this day to be Mike Davis Day throughout the entire county of San Diego.
Next, we have a presentation from Bill Schwan, our community college trustee. He was genuinely disheartened not to be able to be here last night. He was here last year and he just loved Mongolian barbecue. But
it's quite good.
Unfortunately, he had to go out of town tonight. So Albertine will present the certificate for him.
Good evening. I didn't prepare a speech for you, except you're amazing. So I'll just read what the document says. The Board of Trustees of the San Diego Community College District commends and honors Mike Davis, the 2007 Mira Mesa Town Council Volunteer of the Year, for your leadership, teamwork, and outstanding service to San Diego Mira Mesa community. And this from Bill, who wishes you were here. Thank you, Mike.
Albertine. Next we have a certificate from Miss Lee. Miss will actually be here later, but she unfortunately has some other things and can't get here until later this evening. But I'll have Maria Penko present her certificate.
Okay, this says, the Board of Education of the San Diego Unified School District extends this certificate of recognition to Mike Davis for being selected the Mira Mesa Town Council's 2007 Volunteer of the Year. Congratulations.
And last but not least, we have the presentation from the Mira Mesa Town Council. I have a plaque for Mike. It says Community Excellence Award. Mr. Mike Davis is being honored this evening as our 2007 Volunteer of the Year. This is a tribute to his role as a community leader and for the foresight and creation of the Heroes Project. The Council and the community of Mira Mesa appreciate all of his hard work and dedication. Thank you. In addition to that, if any of you have been to the Mira Mesa Library, notice on the wall we have a plaque that has the names of all of our volunteers of the year on it. And there's a space right here that will have Mike's name on it shortly. And it will go back in the library. We do in fact have quite a few people here who were previous volunteers of the year. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read their names, and those who are here, if you would come forward, we'll have a picture of all the volunteers of the year, including Mike. Yeah, so the board can go sit down. Thank you. Our first volunteer of the year in 1984 was Vern Goodwin. As we know, Vern passed away a couple of months ago, but I'm sure he's here in spirit, and certainly always appreciated these events. He attended almost every volunteer of the year dinner himself, and we have a nice memorial to Vern over here in the corner. Our 1985 volunteer of the year was John Worthington. 1986 was Bruce Brown. Bruce is here tonight. 1987 was Sandra Archer. Sandra, also here tonight. 1988 was Don Gutierrez. 1989, Orlando Vernaccia. Orlando. 1990, Pam Stevens. 1991 was Brenda Bowman. 1992, they did two. One was me, Jeff Stevens. The other was Sherry McCollum. 1993 was Bob O'Hara. 1994 was Bruce Brown again, the only one that ever has to apply. 1996, Alton Jacobs. 1997, Mark Miles. 1998, Larry Brady. 1999, Debbie Vincent. Debbie and Karen Berger also apologize. They're unfortunately at a PTA convention tonight, but they send their best. 2000, Keith Flitner. He was also here. 2001, Robin Sussman. 2002, Karen Berger. 2003 was Tim Allen. As we know, Tim Allen unfortunately died about 2 years ago also, but I'm sure he's also with us here tonight. 2004 was Steve Stutzman. 2005, Joe Frickle. 2006, Chuck Sweet. 2007, Mike Davis. In the back.
We can all get in there, get behind them. Big hugs. Big hugs.
$1995, John Melo.
Disposable? Yeah.
I didn't turn it. Is it on?
Yeah, you got him there, Ted. We're looking at Ted, I guess. We got Ted. Hey, yeah. Tell us what you got in there, buddy.
Take the lens off, Ted.
She says, is this thing on?
I don't think it's on. It's on.
It's not.
It's not. Where's the on button?
It's like a
He knows how to use it.
Dee, did you get it? Is our battery?
Did you get it? No. All right, well, I'm looking at Ted here. All right. That is a mile rollable. More training. Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go. Ted, you get it? You got to get it?
Now, Ted's
Got another one? All right, one last one.
Come
on, Jeff.
Jeff, and Ted's
Go blank, that was the problem.
Oh, yeah.
She always blinks.
He blinks.
One more. Look at Ted, that's it.
Over there.
Is it dinner time now?
Thank you all.
You're taking a picture of that many people.
I do actually have one more presentation before we eat dinner. I have the presentation for our other volunteer year nominee for this year, who is here tonight, who also deserves a lot of recognition. Mr. Ted Bringle, will you come up here? Thank you, Ted.
That's all.
Sorry. Continuous 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007 annual Volunteer of the Year Dinners Continuous Community Service Recognition Award to Mr. Ted Bringle is justly being honored this evening once again for his dedication and character and his many leadership roles in our community. The Council and the community of Mira Mesa appreciate your tireless efforts and determination over many years. With that, I am going to call Cortland back up, and he will tell us about dinner.
Yes, this is a Chinese gong, and of course by gonging it brings you good luck. So with this, what we're going to do...
Banging a whole lot of time.
Exactly. Now it'll cost you probably about $1 to bang this. So just realize that as you're going through the line, the caterers they have their little basket out there. Go ahead and put a couple dollars in there, or some money, making sure it's the folding type. And with that, what we're going to do for dinner is we are going to go ahead and start with the first table, Mike being first. I think so anyway. Isn't that the way it usually goes? Yeah. Did we make him go last? No. Okay. I guess you're going first. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and Mike and...
He's gotta be strong and he's got
personalized version here that Pam Jefferson and Steve Chavez adapted this for you. And we have a few more extra copies if there's anybody else who wants some lyrics later.
I just came across the news. It's Mike's birthday next week.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
What is it?
Senior citizen meal
Happy
ordering.
I'm kidding.
I can tell. Double nickels.
Nice. So Mike's birthday is the 10th. And as you can tell, we have birthday cake in the back. What I'd like right now is actually everybody to join in happy birthday to Mike. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike. Happy birthday to you. And there is birthday cake in the back.
Way to go, Mike!
What I do now is call on anyone who would like to say anything about Mike. You know, Mike likes to be in charge of things. I look around and I see Mike all the time. It's hard to find the people who work.
I don't know how to raise my thing notes. I don't know which thing
Well, we found a few,
Oh, it's
so
over there.
I'm going to start with Doug Dillard.
Oh,
There
yay.
you go. I got
My biggest fear in life is talking in front of people, and Mike knows it, so this is actually
I did not do
the biggest
that.
honor I can give you is to stand up here and
I
say
know
something
that.
about you.
I agree.
I was on the town council, no, doesn't my name's Doug Dillard. I was on the town council with Mike 3 years ago, and we got to know each other. He's like one of my best friends on the council. We used to go to Callahan's after the town council meetings every week, and that's where we first discussed about heroes. And what his main thing was neighbors helping neighbors. And that's pretty much what heroes is. And I was right on board. Stan and I joined up and we actually started heroes, but Mike does everything. We did a few things with him, but people don't really know how hard Mike works. He gets, he has to arrange the heroes events. He has to, you do so many things. You have to arrange the events, put them together, get the material, go to the place before it starts, make sure everything's ready, power wash them. And a lot of times he spends a lot of his own money doing these things. And I don't think there's anybody that deserves Volunteer of the Year more than Mike Davis. And in closing, I hope when I grow up, I'm just like you.
Thank you, Doug. We don't have anyone else officially scheduled, but if there's anyone else who would like to say anything at this point. You know, everything Mike does is really good. Anybody have the dirt on him? Tell us. All right.
You can't take anything from my pastor. That's all. Hey, confessions are done, you know, like private.
Confessions for you are never done. I have the privilege of serving as a parish pastor for Mike. Beth teaches at our school, one of our longtime, just treasured teachers, and it needs to be said publicly. Sarah is one of the graduates of our school there, and she's about ready to graduate again, so we wish her a blessing. But to Mike and your family, congratulations on behalf of the parish. Now, normally I don't preach this short. And normally also I would have prayer, but Mike needs too much prayer.
All right. Who's next? How about a sister? Come on, Mike.
Now's your chance.
He was still in charge.
So I'm one of Mike's sisters. I've lived here in San Diego for about 26 years. And, yeah, Mike has just been phenomenal. Well, I call him Miguel. Has been phenomenal in the community. But he's also just really, him and Beth both helped me out tremendously in, many different ways throughout the years. And it's just super greatly appreciated. He's, I guess, the one to attain to sometimes, and for a long time, but I already match him now. So, not in what he does, but who I am, or whatever. Anyways, he's a great guy, and if you don't know him, go over and say hi. Just take him a beer. He likes beer a lot. And he likes motorcycles. He doesn't like them, I don't think, as much as he did before. But yeah, he's a great guy. He's a pistol at times, and
I thought he was Lutheran.
Huh?
I thought he was Lutheran.
That was cute. Anything else? Hey Beth, why don't you come up here?
No,
Oh, yeah. Oh, she did trouble for sure. Oh,
You're here.
have a good one, thanks.
That Davis next? No.
That hasn't already been said.
How about Sandy Smith? Robin.
This is short and to the point. You know how Jeff said Mike likes to run everything? Well, we rented a giant, U-Haul, and took it to our house, and we were emptying out our backyard, and we went over to the school, and Mike was there, and then he was doing a cleanup at the school site. We went over there, we said, Mike, you're sweeping the sidewalk, and this is a sidewalk that has to be, I don't know, several blocks long on one side, several blocks long on the other side. He's sweeping us. We said, we have a gas blower. He goes, oh no, that's too much work. So we get in this rental truck that costs, I don't know, $10 a minute. We drive over to our house, get it, go back, give it to him. Hey, talk about in charge. Then we get back to the school, and he's at the school, at this school. I don't even know how he did all that, but anyway, he is large and he's in charge. And he does it the hard way.
Thanks, Robin.
And Jeff, that day there was 42 bags of debris put in the back of that.
42 bags.
42 bags.
Chuck.
Thank you. Mike, you're a good man. I'm glad that I could donate some tools to you to help you out in your project. But the people here in the senior center, the Mira Mesa Senior Center, respect you greatly for the work you've done around here, especially over to the senior center, and the park as general. This is a very beautiful park, and you should be proud to be part of it, as part of the work has been done around here. It's going to be a greater park when it's done officially in a few years. By maybe 7 years down the line, when we get the money from the, it's going to be a beautiful park with a pool, a new rec center, a new four-diamond ballpark on the other side of the road. And thanks to our good friends, you know who they are, I don't have to tell you. Jeff and all the guys here that worked on the board, Bruce Brown and all them, are the ones that really worked this out hardly for us. And we have a lot to be proud of in this community. Especially, we miss up on one thing in this community, is our planning commission. If it wasn't for this group, I'm really serious, that we would never know half the stuff that's going on in Mira Mesa. And I'm proud to know that these guys. Hopefully one day I'm going to be on this commission. I hope you are too. But this is very important to everybody in here, to work for San Diego, to work for Mira Mesa. We have a community that should be a city, not a community. We have 90-some thousand people here. We have enough overhead to take care of our finances. I think it's time that we wake up the community and start a city here, get a charter. We are valued. We are a valued group. I want to separate myself from the city, from downtown. Seriously, I'm tired of the politicians down there.
Mike for mayor.
You better believe it. That's not the principle of the thing. The principle of the thing is we have a lot of intelligent people in Mira Mesa, and I really believe that. And we have a lot of good business people with smart heads that know how to operate. And we have a town council that developed this community. Jeff is one of them for years. A street fair. You worked on a street fair. He works hard at the street fair. He knows how to control them school kids, I tell you. They get out of hand, boy, they start crawling. Mike is tough. I worked on this for about 7 years now, Mike, 8 years, and I really enjoy working with him and everybody else in here. So Mike, thank you so much and congratulations on 2007.
Now that the mayor and the city council are gone, we are seceding from the city. Anyone else? Sandy? Hannah?
Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Pam Stevens, Jeff's other half, and Mike, you are larger than life. You are wonderful. In fact, you and I together communicate very well. Those of you who know me know that when I leave an answering machine message or send an email, I tend to take many, many words to get to the point. And Mike, on the other hand, sends shorter emails that you need to interpret in a Mike to English translator, and I've learned over the years how to do this. So when he sends out his messages about Heroes events, I can usually turn them into a blurb for my column in the Sentinel, adding the significant things that make sense so that other people who only speak English and not my case can manage to interpret them. Another thing that Mike and I share is we both are active with the Mira Mesa High School Foundation, which is a wonderful group that helps raise funds for both academic and extracurricular programs. Taste of Mira Mesa, the restaurants in Mira Mesa don't always have the staff to staff their booths at Taste of Mira Mesa. So some of you may not realize Mike has Filipino roots, because for the 3 years of Taste of Mira Mesa, Mike has been the one serving the lumpia from Manila fast food. And in fact, Beth and Sarah have helped with that, and so we have the Davis family to thank for having wonderful Filipino food at Taste of Mira Mesa. Mike, you are a hero. You are larger than life. You've got energy and enthusiasm and, well-deserved honor. Thank you.
Sandy?
I'm actually at a loss for words. Mike, get up here. I'm Sandy Smith, and I'd actually like to ask Mike Davis to talk a little bit about his vision for the Resource Center right here at the Senior Center. Yes? Okay.
Well, that and whatever else he wants to talk about.
Okay.
All right, by the way, Sandy's one of our board members on Heroes. She and Doug helped us start that out. But Ed Callahan's over at the...
Here. You poor two.
All right, thanks, Sandy. I just got a few things to say.
How sharp is
My emails are all right. You just have to be able to know what I'm talking about. Yeah. No, I actually only got a couple of things here. First, I'd like to start off with thanks. This has been really fun. Hopefully you're enjoying it as well. First, the folks that arranged this whole special day, led mostly by Cortland. If you could just quickly stand up. I can't read them all. Cortland, Pam, Robin. Just go ahead and stand up for the people that helped. Please do that. Great food, you name it, and Chuck and the rest, but they just did great. And of course, the Mira Mesa Town Council led by Jeff. Thank you. I'm trying to pay you back here before the end of sorry about that. They not only manage our business like the community, like was mentioned earlier, but they also promote volunteerism. This is just one artifact that And then second, the elected officials who all left to go somewhere else more important, but that's okay. To come and celebrate our community spirit with us. And then you folks who reserved this evening tonight to celebrate with all of us and socialize with friends, new and old, old and new, hopefully. And then, of course, my family and friends, some of those who traveled from Montana, my sister, and other places to be here. Especially since many times I'm supposed to be home tending to things when I'm out doing heroes things. Somehow I like that somehow better in a way. But so if they tell you something about me, just be careful, mindful that they're a little bit biased when they talk about that. And then, of course, the Senior Citizen Center, including the Golden Friends, and Chuck is the new president of that, and to help me put this on tonight. So I really appreciate it. And then, of course, special thanks to Vern, who really was started on. We got a little memorial over here if you haven't noticed. We've got some thank you cards, so what we would like you to do is just say thank you, Vern, for whatever it is, and then we'll turn those over to the family and for the Senior Citizen Center. We'll kind of collect all of those, and just so it's a way to say thank you to him. There's a little flyer over here, so if you do that, that would be kind of cool. So what this really means, though, it's really about community spirit. I only have about 2 or 3 paragraphs, so we're getting there. Not just me or any one person. That's not what we're doing, or any group in particular, but the numerous activities we do as a team in Mira Mesa. If you know anything about me, even though I do like to push and be in charge to get results, I do really like to strive for the collective good and the harmony that we have. The Mira Mesa Town Council, all that they do in the sub-working group, the 4th of July and the casino night that they put on. The annual street fair was mentioned earlier, in the Monster Manor, and the Mira Mesa Theater Guild, who we hope eventually will come up with a little plan here. They're working really hard. The Mira Mesa Script Trans Cubanos, I'm just reading some of these. The Women's Club, Mira Mesa, you've seen some of those flyers and some of the things they've been doing for the rest of the community. The Stakeholders Group, Rob runs that. Taste of Mira Mesa, the Mira Mesa High School Foundation that Pam had mentioned earlier, and then of course the Senior Center, the Golden Friends. By the way, I just joined that. It's only $10, and so you might want to consider that. I am turning the golden nickel here, 55 years shortly, but I don't let that slow me down. Many of you know that. And then finally, we tried to get a Mira Mesa business group going here a while back. Sandy Smith started that. Got a little bit of, well, there wasn't a whole lot of effort, but I don't know if Dennis is here. There he is over there, Dennis. So he wants to start that back up, so we're going to start a little moving there, and Callahan's has helped to start that off. So we'd like to get a business group going. We got a lot, there's a power in team here, and so it's a shame that we don't have a very powerful business group here to go help us out in both what we do in the council and some of the other volunteer stuff that we do. So what these efforts are all great, but what I'm really reminded of most standing up here is not that you honor my volunteer contributions, which I do appreciate and is very gratifying, but I see all these efforts and many of you sitting out here as being the real honorees tonight, because the collective good we do here, it outweighs any one individual's influence. While the same 20 or 30 people, you've heard the STP, same 30 people, right? And there are probably 20 of those volunteers a year, and about another 20 of you folks out there that do all of that. But and of course, in many of those Jeff read in the previous Volunteer of the Year awards, I think we've seen a pretty good growth in community spirit. The Women's Club popped up and started doing some stuff, and the community pride. If you haven't seen the wall on Mira Mesa Boulevard, okay, down that way, okay, it's looking pretty good. Believe me, when you're out in the hot sun, doing this, okay, it can get to you a bit, but we just do a little bit by little bit, and it's getting to look pretty good, and I think that's what we embody in Mira Mesa more than anything else. We take on these little projects because we know in the end the whole then represents a lot more than just those individual efforts that we do. And so that's what the essence of community spirit is, getting outside of your immediate family, friend comfort zone. Go on and do something, pick something, even if that cause doesn't exist. Yours didn't exist 3 years ago. We got together and we said, I want a community, I actually wanted to join something like Heroes, but it didn't exist where I could just, kind of go and hang out and help on a Saturday once in a while. Couldn't find it, so we decided we would make that. So you, the community, and the rest of us could spend a couple hours on a Saturday and go do something once in a while, meet some new friends, and it happened to be the cause that you were interested in, that's great. So if you'd like to start one of those up, I'm more than willing to help you do that. And so fundamentally, though, it comes down to community spirit as well. What we do is both embodies our hero's perspective. If you've heard me say Hakuna Matata before, be happy, no worries. And then, of course, our motto, which is charity and goodwill. Pass it on and pay it forward. Whatever that means to you. And I think everybody in here does know what that means and does do that in some small part. So, in closing, I'd like to thank you and only ask you a couple of things. One is, offer your personal thanks to Vern over here. If he did something for you, just say, thank you, Vern. This is kind of a way of releasing too, you know. He passed on and his family didn't necessarily want a big memorial or anything, but this is for ours, just to say, hey, thanks, Vern, you know, we'll put it in the bucket over there. And then think about showing him some efforts. Doesn't have to be heroes. And get on my list though, you'll be getting some emails, but you know, pick and choose when you want to do something. The Golden Friends, I joined, and I think if we had enough folks in here join and do some stuff, that would also be good. Now, the Senior Citizen Center tends to have a good community spirit, but you know, I'm kind of a doer, and so I asked John and Chuck, I said, hey, you want to get some of these young 50 to 65-year-olds in there and stir stuff up a little bit? And he said, roger that. So I said, okay, I can help with that. And then finally, have fun tonight, because we're in good company with all of you folks, and have great eats, including the cake for dessert over there. Relatively cheap beer, and Cortland has an announcement after that. I think we're going half price to get you moving. And then entertainment and dancing. We've got some mics up there if you're so inclined to go up there and sing along with music. My daughter and her friend will be up there. That's my daughter, Sarah, and my friend Megan over here. They'll be up here to help us stir us along. So, Hakuna Matata, and that's all right.